Good morning, everybody. It is your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia back with another Create and Relay. Ha ha! It's Fri-YAY. It is actually the 27th. If you were hanging in there with me yesterday, you know I said I was going to give myself grace because I had not completed my squares for February. I still have these. I think it's 16. I think all I had was 16 last time I showed you. So I have 16 of those 17, 18, 19, 20, 23. So I'm over the halfway mark. Oh, but I'm ready to get it started. This is just another crochet session. And just some little reminders. I got my pattern laying right here in front of me. And even if you're catching this on replay, please don't forget to hit those thummies. And if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. Share the video. Make sure when you subscribe, hit that little bell with the dimples so that you always know when I'm dropping fresh new content. I kind of like the morning. The evenings are so busy. Sometimes I consider doing late nights because I'm up that long. I think the information I need is on my phone, but I was good enough to have a hard copy too. So that way, okay, cool. Cool. I'm doing better than I thought. So, what is everyone working on today? Drop that info in the comments for me. Let me know. I think this and the Timothy X are going to take up most of my day. And that's fine. That's fine. I got some news. I know I'm gonna get fussed at, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm prepared for it. I have to rework my house robe. I'm not taking it loose. I'm just reworking it because at the rate I was going, it was going to be past huge. I see. I can't see what the chat says. Hold on. Let me get to a place where I can see it. I didn't bring it up on my TV this morning because it just kind of pop in before my live. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. You too. I don't know who it is, but I hope you do too. The top part is, uh, can you let me know who you are one more time? It doesn't show me the whole chat on my phone, and I want to properly wish you a wonderful Amber. Buenos dias, ¿cómo está? I just did a quick pop up. Just felt like crocheting and saying hello to the world. That's one of the things I like to do when I, especially, and no, I won't be up here long because uh, I'm expecting my wheelchair today. So, thank you, BB. How are you? Good morning. So, what is everyone sipping on? I gotta run the. I okay. I understand. I understand. And I will probably pop in and sit in the bushes like I do. I'm good at that. I'll come in and pop a thumb up there and just find my branch and sit upon my branch. Oh my goodness. You have a good one. Baby, what I was saying is, if you remember yesterday, I told myself I was going to give myself grace for not having my squares done. When I counted my squares today, I have 23 squares. And 21 was the halfway point because I'm only doing 42 squares this month. So I think I'm doing good. I think I'm doing quite well. I'm using the Gifted Reds. And if I'm not careful, Vivian, how are you? My daughter, my oldest daughter, woke me up this morning with a phone call. She had an interesting morning. Uh, the bus that picks the babies up was late, and there are more students in her apartment complex that go to the same school. So she volunteered to take these brothers, and both of them, bless their heart, are on the spectrum. So their conversation on the way to school was from the oldest brother. I'm the oldest brother. And the other brother said, well, I'm the oldest, youngest brother. Oh my goodness, children. You gotta love them. You gotta love them. And of course, my grandson, my too smart for his own good grandson, made an executive decision Wednesday and only talked to one of the three adults involved. And she assumed that he had talked to everyone else. So he tells his auntie, we want to stay with you this weekend. And of course, when my daughter told me that, she goes, I'll be by to pick them up this afternoon after school. I'm like, okay. She said, they said they wanted to stay over here this weekend. I'm like, did you talk to their mama? Did you have a conversation with her? Where did they do this? But I told her, okay, fine. It's fine because he gets to miss out on something. I get to play with my wheelchair by myself today. He has already designated his position with me and my wheelchair. He is the driver of my wheelchair and he will take me everywhere I need to go in my wheelchair. I'm like, little man, what are we doing? Oh my goodness. My baby doesn't give grandma choices. That little man puts his foot down and he means what he says. One of the reasons I like the pop up in the morning is because you all get to see me at a different time of day, but you see that it's still the same me. I can't change, guys. I mean, we all do some sort of change as we go through life, but my general demeanor, I'm always quirky. Guys, I have run across another channel. I do want to look at a few more of the videos, but I can tell you about it. His name is John Boy. Absolutely delightful. Um, he shared a story last night that was really touching. Apparently, he had been on YouTube before and he got off of YouTube. He shut everything down. He gave his explanation. But as he was telling his story, you could tell that he got emotional. And he reminded me so much of me in some situations that I go through. Like when my doctor told me that she was putting me in a wheelchair because she was upgrading me to high fall risk. My first instinct was to chuckle. I wasn't laughing at the situation. It was kind of like ironic. Oh, that leads to something else. See, I'm squirrely all day long. All I got to do is wake up. I wake up in the squirrel's nest. Okay, so here's the deal. The dealio is, I think I told y'all once before that I had told my daughter that I was going to live to be 114 years old. So I did the math yesterday, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, why? It sounds morbid, but check this out. So I'm 62. My mom and I were 27 years apart. So as of this age, I know that I have 27 years on this, which would make that 89. Well, my mother didn't think she was going to live to see 65, and she actually lived 17 years past 65. And 17 and 89 is 106. From the time my mom got sick and threw up her hands and said she was done, she lived 8 more years. That was from 2011 to 2019. 8 plus 106 is 114. Y'all, I'm gonna live to see 114. And watch. I mean, I'm gonna live to be 114, and I'm gonna get my mobility back, and I'm gonna be able to play with my great grands and my great great grands. Watch. I'm gonna be able to walk to and through the stores by myself. I will have another vehicle and I will be driving. Yeah, I got dream goals, y'all. I do. I see all of this coming to light. I just, Friday mornings, I find that when I wake up in the morning, after I do my exercise and all my little girly things, I will grab for a hook real quick because it's like I'm focused at that time. I don't have anything else going on right then. So it's easy for me to, get something going. And lots of times at night, when I make out my list, and I didn't make one last night, so happy I didn't because whatever I do today, I will feel accomplished. But usually when I make my list out, I'll start tackling that list first thing in the morning. And I realize that most of what I get done during the day happens in the early morning and probably after 8 o'clock at night. I stopped that one too soon. It's okay. That'll be a special one. It's supposed to be 3 rounds. It's okay. I make my squares like assembly lines. So I'll do about 4 or 5 centerpieces, and then I'll add the next couple of rounds. I think I don't know if I'm bordering all of these in black or not. I haven't quite decided yet. I'm leaning that way, and I know I need some black anyway. Y'all, I checked my numbers this morning, and I am actually at 520 subscribers and 2011 viewing hours. You guys are phenomenal. You are. Y'all make me so happy. When y'all see me fiddling with these little pieces, it's trying to crochet that tail down. My tail be wagging. I be trying to get it under control. Hey, 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 slow down. Come back here. Wait a minute. I guess I should say, being that being that I'm squirrely, that my tail is flicking, because that's what squirrels do. They kind of flick their tails. It's so cute. Speaking of squirrels, when my mom was living, we had 4 pine trees in the backyard. At one point, we had 7. One fell onto the neighbor's fence one year. Another one had started falling, so we had it cut down. And then another one fell between the 2 houses again. We were so blessed. Storms made the trees fall down. And we were so blessed that they didn't fall on any of the houses. They were pine trees that were really, really, really tall. So down to when we lost the first 2, we planted 2 more. We started out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We started out with 5. We planted 2. They were just little bitty things, but it was because they were gapped out. It was like 3 here, huge space, 2 here. There was a peach tree, and we transplanted the peach tree, and then we put the 2 um, pines there. So, legs bothering me. I'm sorry. Um, when we got down to 4 trees, we don't know if it was just one or a family of squirrels that made a home back there in the trees. But this one, my mom named him Peppy, used to always come up to the back door well before my mom started feeding him. He would just come up to the back door and sit on the ramp, and then he'd scurry away. So one day she had the back door open, and she's looking out and she sees him right there on the ramp, right by the handle of the door. Kind of startled her a little bit because she was getting ready to go outside. And she was like, I can't open this door and let the squirrel get in the house. So she started talking to him. She was like, I would like to come outside now. And the squirrel turns around to the side and kind of looks at her, and he scurries part of the way down the ramp. And mom opened the door and went out. And do you know he walked with her the rest of the way down that ramp? And from that day forth, he never stopped coming to that door. And whenever mama was there, they would have conversation. My mom claimed a lot of animals and insects. The insects, nobody was happy with her choice of insects. I call them killer bees. Y'all, they were huge hornets. They were the burrowing kind. They bore these big holes in the yard, all over the yard. I mean, like holes that wide. And they were huge. They were huge. Somebody said they were ground bees, but ground bees are kind of orange. These things were brown. And when I, looked them up, I'm like, they are hornets. And we argued with the neighbor for the longest time. He's like, no, they're brown. I mean, ground bees. Um, they come bigger than regular bees. So we had a vet that came to the house to check on Lizzie one time. And I asked her, what are those? Because she could barely come up to the door. They like swarmed the front ramp. I'm like, what are those? And she's like, those are hornets. They're really, really bad. They burrow in the ground. They hang around wood. And I said, my next door neighbor, can you tell him what they are? Because I told him they were hornets. Her husband studied insects. So she learned a lot about insects through her husband. I'm going to turn back around, guys. I had to straighten this leg out for a moment. Okay, there we go. That feels much better. Don't rain on my parade. So we're doing good. It's before 9 o'clock, and we already just about got 3 centers done to our square. I am planning on doing another video today. It's not going to be a live. I am doing a crochet with kitty sesh, and I don't know what I'm going to be working on during that. I might be working on the Dallas Cowboy robe, house robe, um, as I so enjoy working on that. It works up, being that it's chenille, which is a number 5. It works up really fast. Last night when I was doing actual measurements, instead of just holding it up beside me, I realized just how big I was making it. And I was like, nah, I can't even get away with this. So I decided to take 20 stitches off of it and revisit it. This is what I originally had going on. And that's 70 inches across. And this is only supposed to be a quarter of the robe. Now, I'm a big girl. I'm not denying that to anybody, but I'm not that big. So I took it down to 50. This is still sizable, and it's a quarter of it, and it'll still give me that overlapping, hugging feeling without feeling like it's falling off of me. So, I mean, I was trying to justify the 70 inches and I mean, the 70 stitches and everything. I was like, yeah, I want it nice and big. I want to feel like I'm wrapped up in a blanket. And last night, the realism hit me, and I was like, this is unreal, Kitty. Don't do this to yourself. Don't. A big robe is fine, but this is humongous. It's like I was making a robe for the Jolly Green Giant. Mm-mm. Nah. No, but it worked up fairly quickly. I mean, that part worked up fairly quickly. That was like an hour and a half's worth of work. 50 stitches across in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 17 rows up. So not bad at all. I'm a large Dallas Cowboy blanket. Awesome. I've been a Dallas Cowboy fan since I was 7. So for 55 years, I met Mr. Tom Landry when I was 10 years old. And in our conversation, he said to me, promise me that you'll always be a Cowboys fan. And I promised him. And I have always been the type of person that I hold true to my promises. I hold true to my promises. But Vivian, how did you like working with it? The chenille. How did you like working with it? Because I absolutely loved it. This is my 5th attempt, and I know this one's going to work because my OCD always has me to start a project 5 times before it's right. So, in the frogging, it doesn't shed like other chenilles. It holds true to what it is. It's a beautiful yarn to work with. There's no residue on it. It's absolutely, I find it amazing to work with. I like it a lot. Y'all, I lost a fingernail. I lost a fingernail yesterday afternoon. It started breaking a couple of days before, and I filed it down to the crack, and it was going across. But if I had not been proactive, I started separating the nail from the nail bed. I would just go under every now and then and, try to separate it a little bit because if I had left it like it was, it would have torn right across my nail bed. So it hung on for about 3 days. And yesterday, when I washed dishes, it bent forward and I knew that the crack had gotten longer. So I just went in on and took it off. And I have to wait for it to grow out a little bit before I can file the tip down. I can file it from the top. This is my first time working it, and it's okay. I just got to get used to. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can accept that. I can accept that. Yeah, I can accept and respect that. I'm making boo boos. Okay, I'm making a double crochet. There we go. Build my double. Give me 2 more. Chain 2. And 3 doubles. Vivian, how long have you been crocheting? And I don't know if you were here the other day when Death by Booby popped in, and I couldn't remember the name associated with the channel name. And I, I I have not seen them since because I really want to apologize. Um, I'm working on trying to remember things better, and what I should have done It's like I generally do. I write things down. And I did not write it down right away. But after doing my research, I know who Death by Bluey is now. I know who Death by Bluey is now. I need to pull my flute out and practice. Get back in the swing of playing my flute. I need to write these stories that are in my head. Oh, I have an idea for a book called The Good Deacon. And it's kind of what it sounds like. It's nothing, horrifying, but I used to be a member of this church. And long story short, the deacon wanted to run the church. He thought every decision that was made in that church was supposed to come through him. He wanted to tell people there was one particular family who was kind of well off, and the church decided that they wanted to enlarge and remodel their kitchen. So this particular member put up the money for that to be done. Oh, this deacon was not having that. He was not having that, because he felt like for her to put this kind of money up meant that she thought she had control over. And everybody's looking at him like, but it's her daughter who does most of the cooking for the church. So what are we missing? What are we missing that he sees? 20 years. I did my first baby blanket for my first grandchild. Didn't know what I was doing. Couldn't figure out what the instructions were saying. So I followed the pictures. Awesome. Awesome. My babysitter taught me when I was 5 years old. My first projects were a poncho and a tam. And I wore them for things like pictures and stuff like that. I never have been a huge, not until I got grown, not until I got my I believe that it came out perfect, but not until I got my YouTube channel did I start appreciating ponchos and wraps and scarves and those types of things. I wouldn't make them, but they never really appealed to me. I have always been a bit of a designer, and I just couldn't. It's like now, if I follow someone else's tutorial, I have to really like what I'm looking at, and it's not taken away. Excuse me, it's not taken away from the designer at all. But being a designer, I'm mine's tend to squirrel. It's like if it's let's say it's a 20 round baby blanket, and there's a different element on each round. Then like once we get to like the third or fourth round, it's like, wait a minute, this will look real pretty with this, and this will go here, and this will happen, and we kind of take someone else's design and turn it into our own. And granted, there's not honestly crocheting is all about hook placement. It's where you place your hook and how many loops you pull up with your hook. So it's all about hook placement. Where are so many places? Where's the next genius place I can put this hook? Yeah. So anyway, this is my square that I'm working on this morning. I need 16 of them. I have the start of 3. Well, if you count this one, I have the start of 4 because what I'm thinking is that I will do 8 with the smaller center and 8. Nope. I'll do 4 with the smaller center and I'll do 12 with the larger center. The only thing I have to do, these pinwheels are actually made. They're going to be outlined with the black. These pinwheels are already, okay, I got confused. These are already made. I have to complete the variegated on that one, and then I have 3 more, 2 more that need the variegated. But ultimately, this is what they're going to look like. It's outlined in black as well. So I think I'm going to keep that theme and just keep them all outlined in black. And but it's only going to consist of the 2 different types of squares. It's going to be the pinwheel and the gated garden. And next week, Wednesday and Friday, I will be releasing the tutorials for the March squares. You'll get 2 on Wednesday and 2 on Friday. I don't know if you saw the newest ones that I made, but I made this one, which I call At the Cross. I want to make it lighter. I considered this one for March simply because of the name on it. And I'm doing a lot of crisscrosses. I made, I knew I pulled the wrong one. Okay, here we go. I made this one. I don't know. I don't know what to name it. I, but it is cute. It's cute. So there's that one. And then I made this one, which I originally called Octacare. And when Lori saw it yesterday, she said it reminded her of the moon. So I decided to call it, um, I think I said moon craters. I think that's what I said. But that's the closed version, and this is the open version. So if you want to make that blanket but a little lighter than, all closed in, you have your open version as well. And this one, I fell in love with this one, guys, because I was sitting here day before yesterday thinking about Mel Gibson and Tina Turner. We don't need another hero. Their movie together, Beyond the Thunderdome. So this one is called Thunderdome. I am a movie buff. I love movies. As a matter of fact, I was sitting here last night looking at the 1957, the 1937 production of Snow White. Yes. And then the 1957 production of Cinderella, Cinderella. And then I looked at Gulliver's Travels. I came up with this one last night as well. Um, it offers a little texture. It does, and it's holy. And I thought about calling this one Off the Grid. It seems appropriate for this one. But that gray one, I don't know what I'm going to name that one. I don't. It's just got holes. I don't know. I don't know. But guys, I said I wasn't going to hold you all very long. It's been about a half hour or so, a little more. And I bid you all a beautiful day. Go out and make the world beautiful just because you are. It needs your presence. It needs to be graced with your face. If only for a moment. Just stick your head out the door and say, "Hello world." Just make it happen. Like I said, just for a moment, and know that I love you, but mostly I want you to love yourself, because you can't love others the way they deserve to be loved unless you first love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. And you deserve the best. So until we see each other again on these YouTube streets, everybody, peace out. I love you. Ta ta.